Hey guys, welcome back to Forever After Reacts. Today we'll be checking out the Blurry Face Saga, which is the full lore of the 21 Pilots. This was mentioned to me by a really good friend of mine named Matt, so shout out to Matt. This video is an hour and 46 minutes long, so I'm probably going to do this in segments. So I might do like 30 minutes, a little over 30 minutes, depending on like where we are. Because I see there's actually some cutoff points here too. So maybe like right here, right around the 35-minute mark, I might end this portion of it. So we might do like part one. But yeah, he apparently is a really big fan of 21 Pilots. I've only heard a couple of their songs, so I'm not super familiar with them. Pretty sure they are a two-person band artist. And yep, I guess we'll see the more we watch. So hope you guys enjoy.
Maybe you've
Teach
heard
me
of
something
them,
new.
maybe you haven't. Tyler Joseph, Josh Dunn. Two creative minds from Columbus, Ohio with a story to tell, and music as their vehicle to tell it. In 2015, they hit it big. Commercial success, sold out arenas, chart-topping hits, movie deals. All the luxuries that come with being in the industry's good graces. But
One thing I also like to add too, if I have a watermark showing on the video, that means that whenever I originally uploaded it, that YouTube did not like that, and they said I couldn't do it, so I might have a watermark there. If so, apologize.
beyond all the noise sat the album that made it all possible, Blurry Face.
What's a blurry face?
Yet none of that mattered, not to the artists and not to the fans, because this was the beginning of something entirely new. Beneath the golden veil of material success, a deeper story was unfolding, one of internal struggle, identity, and the battle between good, evil, and everything in between. This wasn't just music, it was mythology, a fight for mental clarity, a negotiation with anxiety, doubt, depression, made manifest through a world, a character, and a message embedded in the melody. And after 10 years and 5 albums, the story is complete. The genesis of Blurry Face. The world of Trench. The propaganda of Scaled and Icy. The fight back of Clancy. And the climax of Breach.
Yep, all new to me.
These 5 albums.
I don't know any of their albums. Again, I just know a couple of their songs. I know many years ago, I'm gonna say about 10 years ago probably, that my cousin had reached out to me and said that I should cover one of their songs because she thinks like vocally I kind of like resemble what they sound like. Never got around to it, but thought that was like an interesting take.
Told a decade's worth of cryptic threads woven together in one overarching story. Fed to fans through secret threads of lore peppered over the medium of the internet. Fans were not only given music, but scavenger hunts, ciphers, and puzzles as well, all serving to enrich the narrative. This video serves to lay out this winding story and show each step along the way, to tell the story of light, darkness, and all the gray between. This is the story of Blurry Face.
It sort of seems like a really cool, idea of a video to post of everything, because like I myself am, I guess I consider myself a musician. I don't know. But there's so much more to just the noises that you hear. Like everyone has their music tastes and preferences. I myself am a metalhead. If you've seen any of my videos, but I know they have more like a pop rock alternative kind of a sound that I've never really got into. I've heard a couple of their singles that's okay, just never really got into them, but there's just so much more to music, which is super cool. So like following lore behind something, I'm totally down for. So that's why I'm 2 minutes in. So like this is, I am intrigued, honestly. 2011, I was a junior in high school. Well, going into my senior year, you know, school years, half the year. Boom, boom, boom.
The year is 2015.
Stressed
21
out.
Pilots' official account announces the release of their upcoming album, Blurry Face, on May 19th. Fans find a mysterious Twitter account that would emerge. weeks leading up to the release of album's first single, Stressed Out, this account would post candid pictures of both members, Tyler and Josh, lurking in the shadows without either of them being aware. This entity, posting from the handle of @blurryface, would then provide another picture of presumably Tyler's computer of a blurred track list. And a few days later would release this video.
In reverse.
This song was the soon-to-be-released hit single, Stressed Out. This account would seemingly sabotage the band's attempt at normal mainstream marketing, as well as moving the release date of the single altogether.
Not Sunday night, Monday night. I made them change it.
Blurryface would also go on live streams, only for brief periods of time and in weird, cryptic ways, always in areas close to where Tyler and Josh lived at the time, or where they would make music.
It's so weird.
What the Really?
Fans were starting to catch on to this mysterious figure. It seemed like the band was at the will of Blurryface when it came to posting and announcing new music. Blurryface would leak singles on foreign websites at random, so much so that the band had to put out an official statement stating that they felt violated in wake of all the leaks. Having a single leaked is bad enough. What would come next would shock everyone.
Oh no. That's a burn off. That's a burn off CD.
Now you can both find it.
Blurryface had leaked the entire album a full 2 days before it was supposed to come out.
It's so weird too, because like you're doing all of this lore and stuff too, where you've had to be like kind of in contact with whoever recorded your music and who is going to distribute it. I don't know that realm of the music world, so like that's crazy to me.
Enter the Blurryface era. 14 tracks, over 2 years. Blurryface introduces himself in Stressed Out as caring about what you think. And takes possession over Tyler, saying that he should be doing things for money, fame, and notoriety. Blurryface is a characterization of fears, anxieties, and self-hatred. He is an alter ego, represented by the black paint on Tyler's arms and necks, symbolizing a loss of control, as if being swallowed in black oil. Songs like Lame Boy and Fairly Local push a narrative of resisting this materialistic, insecure figure. Blurryface becomes an antagonist, an ever-changing, mentally abusive force, whose main goal is to sabotage peace of mind. Blurryface was beyond a commercial success. The album Blurryface was everywhere.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
I don't know that one.
A Blurryface, however, was just starting to flesh itself out.
And then I've had to I am the one that should be verified. There is only one Blurryface.
Throughout the tour of the album, Blurryface will reveal new aspects of himself and his worldview. Additionally, throughout the tour cycle, Blurryface would tweet out puzzles for fans to solve that would hint at further releases from the band. Also showing color as a primary way of distinguishing what was under his control and what was resisting him. Blue, the color of defeat. Not long after, Tyler took to the stage during their live stream show wearing a blue jumpsuit. Some people believed it marked Blurryface's downfall, while others argue it hinted at Tyler's surrender. A site that was being used by Blurryface throughout the tour cycle, facesareblur.com, had suddenly become blue.
Blurryface had also deleted all of his tweets and went radio silent.
February 3rd, 2017. Almost 2 years after the announcement of Blurryface's album,
So weird.
he would tweet one more, with a picture of an upside-down, grainy black and white photo of Tyler in the backseat of a car with X's over his eyes. This was signifying the release of the last music video for the album, Heavy Dirty Soul.
I think I know that one.
Save his soul from himself. More specifically, the twisted image of himself in control of the car. Josh plays car when suddenly the driver is gone. A way out has appeared. He's escaped the control of Blurryface and has destroyed the method by which he takes Tyler to places he is helpless in going. Just to realize he's right back to where he started. Out of control, someone else in the front seat, being taken somewhere. But where?
No idea what's happening, but I enjoy that type of music because, like I said before, like, it's so much more than just a couple of beats that you hear, a couple of words that you hear. Like, there's some people that put legit like everything they have in themselves into the music that they make to just so you can kind of understand the person themselves. So to be introduced to that is super cool. Wait.
The next era is coined the hiatus by the fans. The band didn't break up or anything, but instead went into a gradual silence, signified by the closing of an eye on the band's social media accounts. The personal accounts of both Tyler and Josh also had zero activity during this time frame. This time period spanned from July of 2017 to July of 2018. It would mark the end of the Blurryface era. The last word we had received from the band was at the 2017 AMAs, when Josh Dunn went onto stage to accept the award for Most Dedicated Fan Base.
As a lot of you guys know, we're a two-piece band. Tyler wishes he could be here. He's actually off severing ties with Dima.
What is Dima? The fan base
Isn't that, could be wrong, but has to do with like music legality.
wouldn't get that answer until almost a year later, when a gift hidden in Vessel's store page was found and showed a glitched out URL which read dimaorg.info/found. Once on the site, the message was as followed. You are in violation. They mustn't know you were here. No one should ever find out about this. You can never tell anyone about this. For the sake of the others' survival, you must keep this silent. We must keep this silent. No one can know. No one can know. No one can know. This was the first anyone had heard from the band in over a year. The message, capital letters, spelled out East is up. dima.org/found/153986442_14/clancy.html. This page unveiled images and writings from a mysterious character named Clancy, who detailed his escape attempts and inner conflict while trapped in a city called Dima. The same Dima referenced by Josh at the AMAs.
Okay, I guess I'm completely wrong on Dima. Is there not something called Dima, DEMA, that has something to do with like the music and the legality behind releasing music? I might have like the letters mixed up, or it's something similar, something like that. I'm not that crazy.
We received our first letter from Clancy under the name 98806 Moon 18, or June 18th, 1988, which corresponds to Josh Dunn's birthday. The letter reads, The perplexities of the Dima horizon didn't occur to me until my 9th year. It was then that I began to contemplate the existential and decide what kind of impression I wanted my life to make. Naturally, to fuel my hope, I looked out upon the distance of the land that had cultivated me, only this time with a new awareness of the obstruction that my youthful ignorance had allowed me to overlook. Was it there the whole time? How I had not seen something so obvious. I am reminded of this moment daily, as the idealization directly collides with the unique hope for my own future. As a child, I looked upon Dima with wonder. Today, I am wrought with frustration, as I spend each day squinting for a glimpse of the top of the looming wall that has kept us here. It was upon my 9th year that I had learned that Dima wasn't my home. This village, after all this time, was my trap. Before I had become realized, I had a deep affection for Dima. There was a wonderful structure to the city that put my cares to rest. Streets and locations were dependable, and the responsibilities of the day seemed to be accomplished with minimal effort. Once a task was taught and understood, we delighted in our ability to complete our obligations timely, and felt secure in knowing tomorrow's duties would be accomplished with the same efficiency. We all worked to represent our bishop with honor, and knew that each inhabitant of our region had a like-minded dedication to consistency. Keon's embodied the spirit of dedication. Of Dima's 9 bishops, Keon's was revered as unwavering and forthright, possessing the ability to achieve focus that was rare for most in our region. We all admired him and felt honored to be inhabitants in his region. While we had heard the legend of the ruthlessness of other bishops, Keon's possessed a stoic demeanor, unlike anyone I had ever met, and we were all proud to serve. Clancy. We now sort of had
I'm so lost. But I guess that's kind of the point too. Of you're not always wanting to make things so straightforward. You want people to kind of get invested into it more than just some straightforward nonsense.
an answer for what Dima was. It was a city of sorts, run by 9 bishops, including one called Keon's, of which this Clancy character seemed quite fond of. On the side of the letter, we see a handwritten notes, west wall blocked, along with the familiar saying, east is up. The character of Clancy speaks about the city of routine and structure that provided security and ease of life, but also an interest on what it was like beyond the walls of the city. Perhaps this Clancy would try to escape. Weeks later, a new entry to the site was published. A cheetah running with fast letters that ended up reading, "You still don't know his real name, do you?" When taking out the letters that don't really make sense, we arrive at Nico. This is the
That's
first
me.
mention of Blurryface's real name. Nico. We would receive an update on the site weeks later with 9/88/12 Moon 1, a date of significance to fans as Tyler's birthday. This time an image was shown, one of an order from the Council of Dima, a failed perimeter escape. We would then receive many more entries on the sites with moon dates corresponding with important moments in the history of the band. Entries sometimes wouldn't make sense until more entries were added. Codes, cryptograms, and hidden messages would be found in the files, letters, and pictures. Here are some worth noting during this time. This moon image came on the date of the release date of Regional at Best, and comes from a cropped photo of a mathematician, Andre Vale, a member of the secret mathematician society known as the Nicholas Bourbaki Group.
That's me too.
Outside of this mythos, Nicholas Bourbaki isn't a real person, but a collective pseudonym for a group of mostly French mathematicians who formed in the 1930s. Their goal was to rebuild and unify all of mathematics on a rigorous, formal foundation. They approached
Dude,
math
what
with some
is
sort of
happening right now? Oh my gosh.
artistic precision, emphasizing abstract structures and symbolism. One of the key symbols they helped popularize was this, the empty set, representing nothingness or absence. This symbol is a recurring visual motif in the 21 Pilots aesthetic, often replacing the letter O in their branding.
I actually, whenever I see that, I think of the band Under Oath. Their O also is crossed out. Used to be really big fans of Under Oath. Not so much lately.
The use of the empty set reflects the band's themes of emptiness,
That's cool too. That
identity,
top
and internal
logo.
struggle, aligning with the existential and conceptual weight that Bourbaki gave to the symbol in mathematics. The website submissions would continue with the first map of this city of Dima. This moon represents the release of Vessel, and it featured an image of a large map believed to depict Dima, a city surrounded in a circular wall. At the center, 9 pillar towers with names underneath.
There's Keons.
Andre, Lisden, Keons, Nico, Resdro, Sakarver, Nils, Vitomo, Listo.
each representing the 9 bishops of Dima. Fans figured out that these names appeared to be derived from the Blurryface album lyrics, such as
All right, hold. Dude, my brain is starting to hurt right now. What am I reading? So and repeat yesterday's polarized feels denial, heavy dirty soul choke on smoke, stressed out. Doubt temperature is dropping. Dude, my brain's starting to hurt. I ain't gonna lie.
Nico is the only name that doesn't belong. Something about Nico is different. The warning of not knowing Blurryface's name ringing in our ears. One thing of note from the map, theorists were able to find that the Dima towers and layout of the city were eerily similar to Zoroastrian architecture. Coupled with the website submissions prominently featuring vultures, we have what are known as the Towers of Silence. The Towers of Silence were circular raised structures where ritual exposure of the dead would occur. Zoroastrians would leave dead bodies at the top of the towers, exposed to the elements, where carrion birds such as vultures would consume the flesh. When the bodies were decomposed enough, followers would then gather the bones into a central area where continued breakdown would occur. It's also important to mention that the term necropolis is seen surrounding the city. According to the map and Clancy's letters, it's as if each bishop is given jurisdiction over a Tower of Silence in an area of Dima. The world began to take shape as Clancy's desire to escape the walls of Dima grew stronger and stronger. To refer to Dima as my home has never felt accurate. Dima to me has simply been the place that I've existed, or the slot they've put me in. I've heard stories about the idea of home, and its depiction has always seemed warm, from the storyteller's description. There was a romantic ownership of the place they inhabited that I admired, but can never relate to. This place, my place, however, seemed devoid of
I was trying to read like what out.
romance and wonder that the old stories tell. But somewhere between the iron order and infallible precision of Dima,
Yeah.
a hum
You're
of
still
wonder
sleeping?
exists. It's this quiet power that my mind tends to get lost in. This hope of discovery alone has birthed a new version of myself, a better version, I hope, that will find a way to experience what's beyond these colossal walls. Clancy.
Minute said you're still sleeping. I also wanted to know like where they do the lore at. Like, I mean, I've got like, which I don't care to admit it. It's an AI music little project that I do. That I mean, like I create lore with each character inside of it, but like this is obviously beyond that. So like I don't know. Like I was also wanting to like write a book along with each character and everything, but where is the lore? I don't understand how like one person just finds it somewhere and then the next person does and then it just grows from there. I don't understand it.
As time wore on, it seemed as though Clancy was getting more and more desperate to leave the city of Dima. A lifeless light surrounds us each night. Never could I imagine that something so luminous could feel so dark. It's this glow that reminds us of the dreamless existence we've been sentenced to. But what I call a sentence, others accept as normalcy. How did they so efficiently eradicate the dreams within us? When the bishops instituted vialism as mandate, they effectively reversed hope that many arrived with. Am I the only one who realizes that we've been lied to? Am I the only one not afraid of the notion that the Nine have hijacked our trust and extinguished the hope that once motivated our existence? We used to close our eyes and picture a better life. Now this city is full of dry eyes caught in a trance of obedience, devoid of any trace of identity. The only significant light I've seen has been in the eyes of those smeared. Such a curious sight, to see bright eyes strangled by the darkness of bishop hands. As their penance fades, so dims their memory of something more. My hope of something more is all I have in this rigid tomb, and I will not let it die. Exactly 1 year after the start of the hiatus, a final letter before the new era from Clancy is uploaded onto the site. They're asleep. The night took forever to arrive, and now we're almost ready. We've studied the Watchers and know that there's no chance that we can step through unnoticed. So instead of trying to hide ourselves, we'll make sure that all of us are noticed. It's been 1 year since the last convocation, and tomorrow's annual assemblage of Glorified will be the biggest spectacle this concrete coffin of a city has seen all year. If we time it right, we'll divert the attention of the Watchers and finally take the step through. We've had no contact, but we're hoping the other side will be able to find a way in. We're not sure of the breach location, but we are willing to risk being smeared in order to find it. We know that we must go lower and wait for the torches. They've never seen anything quite like this, and by morning, everything will be different. I'm terrified and excited all at the same time. They don't control us. Clancy. Clancy was about to escape.
I'm not even joking. Like, my head is almost like starting to hurt right now. Like, I'm almost like getting a headache because I am so.
I can see it back in the distance, and I'd be lying if I said that it wasn't constantly on my mind. I wish I could turn that fear off, but maybe the further I go, the less that fear will affect me. Sleep. They're so sure that they know the truth and carry on throughout their day with the same meaningless tasks. They've forgotten to look up and to look outward, to understand that it isn't about in there. This is about out here. This new world surrounds me. I used to think the walls back home were massive. If what I assumed inside is true, there's got to be more like me. Sometimes I feel a presence or think I see something in my periphery, only to look up and see nothing. It's just another thing that I'm afraid of that also excites me. It all just confirms all the things I had hoped to be true for all of this time. I am out here, and I am very alive. I'm sometimes scared, but always discovering something new, and I will not stop. Cover me.
I was gonna say, like, most people too, if they're doing some kind of lore, it's like a couple sentences or so. But like, these are multiple pages worth of words and lore and things that are happening behind the scenes. I don't know how you have the brain capacity to put this all together.
But he truly isn't alone. A red-hooded rider on horseback is quickly in pursuit. Figures appear on the ridgeline, individuals dressed in similar apparel to Clancy. But Clancy is helpless against this bishop and is coerced into following the
It's beautiful scenery too to film.
East is up, I'm fearless when I hear this on the low. East is up, I'm careless when I wear my rebel clothes.
The second episode in the Trench-era lore music videos follows Clancy in the wake of his failed perimeter escape from Dima. Nico and the Niners is a song of rebellion against the systems of Dima. East is Up refers to the geographical way to escape Dima, but also represents hope. East is where the sun rises, the end of night. The night being a recurring motif for difficulty and mental frustration. In the music video, we see at the beginning multiple yellow flowers, indicating that previous escape attempts had also failed. Clancy is preparing for another escape from the city. We get a glimpse into life inside Dima, a dark, gray, and gloomy concrete maze. We also get a look into the practice of vialism, which is the creation of bottling and creating cold artificial light. This event depicted in particular was mentioned in an earlier Clancy letter and is known as the annual assemblage of the Glorified, which is when elite citizens called Premier willingly die to become glorified. Their deaths serve the oppressive bishop's purposes, who turn the remains into neon gravestones and store their bodies for future use in the surrounding necropolis. Vialism is the fictional religion said to have been hijacked by the bishops of Dima and is based around the belief that ending one's own life is the only way to paradise and redemption. While defining these terms, it's also important we identify another group of people that are of importance, the Banditos. The Banditos were first seen on the ridges in the Jumpsuit music video.
I would just had the thought too, is like a lot of times whenever I watch a music video, I need like context of what's actually happening. And obviously, if you would react to any of these videos or just watch them, you would be like, what is happening? Because you have no idea, because there is so much to even catch up on to know what is happening and why things look the way that they do. Like, this is insane.
And are the rebellion of the continent of Trench, led by the character the Torchbearer, who is played by the drummer Josh Dunn. The Banditos' aim is to undermine the rule of the bishops and help citizens trying to escape Dima, a citizen like Clancy. The juxtaposition between the Banditos using warm natural light out of fire and the bishops creating harsh cold light out of iridescent bulbs should be noted. The Banditos, led by Josh Dunn's character, are attempting to break Clancy out of Dima while the bishops are busy in their performative light seance, the annual assemblage of the glorified. The bishops are then alerted by the concert of rebellion the Torchbearer and Clancy perform for the citizens. But they catch on too late. The city walls have been breached once again. The Banditos successfully break Clancy out through underground tunnels and apply yellow tape to Clancy's outfit, a symbol of rebellion.
Bandito.
We then go directly into Levitate, the third single from the Trench album, which follows Clancy as he follows the Banditos back into their camp and learns their way of life. Levitate is a short and snappy rap track that focuses on a mixture of confident and insecure moments of brevity from the battles of mental health. The battle has been won, the war is not over, but the vultures are circling. Clancy has escaped from Dima and has found newfound security or confidence with the defiant Banditos. But it is only short-lived. Clancy earns new stripes with a new haircut, with the Banditos making him one of their own. In a quiet moment after the confidence of the performance wears away, the persistence of Nico and his bishops swing back into full effect as Clancy is seen being dragged back to Dima. Before we continue with the story of Clancy, it's important that we establish the main ideas of what Trench musically and through world building is trying to say, as it becomes the framework for how the rest of the saga is viewed. From the lyrics of the second to last track on the album, Bandito.
I created this world to feel some control. Destroy it if I want. So I see.
Trench is a full fleshing out of Tyler's mind, its inhabitants, ecosystem, and power structures, all a deliberate placement from his brain.
I know every aspect of this world. Like, I know what the weather's like in this world, and I wanted to go there and write from that place. And this studio then kind of became, in a sense, my version of it. And I really wanted to dive deeper into the narrative of who Blurryface is. Not just to me, but who he's become.
Each song paints a new aspect to the world the listener is creating in their own mind, while also tackling complex social issues. From songs about the push and pull against the living and breathing monster that can be mental health, to the importance of finding purpose and companionship in those times. Trench is the Pilot's most critically acclaimed album. Trench would go on to win a Grammy as well. At its center is Dima, a cold and oppressive city governed by a group of authoritarian figures known as bishops. Dima is dark and sterile, with concrete structures and an eerie cult-like atmosphere, but something about it is comforting. It represents a mental state of depression and suppression, where red is the color of control and silence. Outside of Dima lies Trench, the vast continent of harsh wilderness filled with cliffs, ravines, and desert landscapes. Though dangerous, Trench symbolizes hope, resistance, and the messy path to healing. And although the protagonist seems unable to escape the clutches of the bishops, it is up to them to try, and to try again and not give in to despair. Trench is a project meant for the listener to project feelings onto its narrative blueprint. The final track, Leave the City, is the embodiment of this theme.
I mean, you tell me what the last word on the album is. The last words. There's a isolated sentence.
They know what I mean.
Yeah. They know what I mean.
That song, not only is it inside of the narrative, but in that narrative, I know that I needed to leave somewhere and start this journey and this point in between two places that a lot of us can find ourselves in. We're always trying to dance in between those two places. How do we get there? And it's scary, and you don't know what to expect, and it's kind of hard to see. And but this record is about pushing through and starting that journey between those two places.
Yeah, it feels
started, and I would never. In this record, I did not define what that where you're supposed to be is, though. There's no name for it. That's not defined, and that was intentional.
Leave the City is a microcosm of the album as a whole. The path of battling mental health is not always a straight line, but in a lot of ways it begins and ends with the decision to try. The decision to leave the city. I wish I could go into depth into each track, but it's truly something that you have to experience for yourself.
Leave the City could take you anywhere, right? I mean,
Yeah.
do you even...
What's next?
We're going to take a brief intermission from the
Okay, and I would say this would probably be the time to take our brief intermission as well, because we are 35 minutes in, which is, yeah, to the Ned intermission. I don't know if Ned is the guy making this video. Let me make sure, that way I can... His name is Just a Duty, is the guy that made this video. So, super high and detailed, in-depth video of 21 Pilots, which again... It just states at the beginning, like, I've only heard a couple of their songs, not, like, musically, like, my sort of taste, but, never really got, like, just into it in general. Like, I've just heard the songs, I'm like, okay, like, I know that song, like, yeah, I'll head bop along to it, just never really got into it. There's still, like, 2 other parts full of this lore that we could possibly get into, so this is honestly insane, so, yep, I guess this is part 1 of the lore of 21 Pilots. So I guess we will see if we get into a part 2 of this video. So I guess hit the like and comment, you know, whatever, good things, whatever. Guys, I am Forever After Reacts, and I hope you guys have a great day.